Hey, well, good morning. Welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue. It is August 16th. It is Friday. I'm glad it's Friday. You know, that usually means more games to play over the weekend. So, of course, drop in the comments what games you might be getting to this weekend. But yeah, as you can see here, we're going to start with showing off a game. This is a demo I actually downloaded on the Switch, not realizing it's also on Steam, so I've just downloaded it for the purpose of showing off here. Um, this is a game called Europa, and again, sharing the way I am. It's weird that it says Adam on the tombstone right there. But sharing the way I am, the frame rate is way lower. I think it just has to do with sharing within the browser. From what I'm seeing, because of my monitor, it's most likely up to 144. I don't know what exactly. Anyway, the reason I want to show this is because playing it on the Switch, I was having a great time. There's a lot of things it's doing that I wanted to kind of show off here real quick this morning. So as you can see what they're trying to do here, and the frame rate, I know it doesn't look like it on stream, but the frame rate in-game looks so good. I bet if I was using like the capture software instead of the browser, it would look better. Let me do something real quick here. No, not graphic. Oh, although I could turn that up. I'm not going to do that for this. What I need to do is invert Y. That's the thing I do. But I want to look at the graphics real quick here. So, okay, it's all on Epic pretty much. Paper Effects is medium, but I'll mess with that later. Okay, so here's the main thing. When you look at this, it evokes what Breath of the Wild did, which is interesting. That was kind of the first game to do that, is even though it's open world, it kind of shows this more pastel, dreamy landscape that looks great. And we're used to that, right? Hey, Chris. Yeah, and that shirt, dude. Oh, good to see you guys. No, this is Europa. This is a demo that's currently on Steam. The full version isn't out yet. I was playing it on the Switch, and I was like, wow, this is good. So, okay. So the controls are pretty interesting. Like, you see that little sliding, and then you hold down A and let go to jump. I mean, you could just press A to jump also, but you let go. Oh, and there's the... Okay, so we're about to get to what makes this special. And it is the controls. So for instance, I can hold down A to jump, but also after I jump, I can hold down A to glide. So it's like already built into the main controls of the character. No need for like an upgrade or an additional item. So this is really cool, this dynamic camera system, because I'm just walking in the world. Like right now I'm walking, but the camera purposely moved back in that way to show off the game. I mean, look at that. This is looking pretty. Yeah, you're right, Chris. And then, yeah, look at this little glide down. And then as I'm going, seeing the credits on the side there with the artists, or, the developers, designers, etc. Anyway, again, looking around the world, it looks amazing. Again, if you play this yourself on your PC, you'll get better frame rate than what you're seeing here. So this frame rate isn't indicative of how the game runs. Interesting, a negative edge jump input. Yeah, it's interesting. But I like it. I feel like I have a lot more control over my character with all the ways I can jump around. Okay. Let's just travel. Like, it's like I was almost floating across just then. Okay. And you can see this glide is very forgiving. You can get pretty far with it. And that's what I think is going to make this game fun. Okay, again, with the dynamic camera.
It has surpassed my expectations.
Lots of story there if you're looking for that.
I don't know what I expected. They've given me a few days to adjust, but I can't make my mind believe that this is real. The air tastes like water.
All right, here we go again. We're going to charge, jump, and then glide. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
this place into a paradise.
As soon as I got to the moment with the controls kind of making sense, how built in with this, just the basic control scheme is of the jumping, the gliding. it just makes it so much easier to go around this world. Oh, even all the sliding around. Let's see. Yeah, because right now I'm just sliding down. Got another paper. No, we're not going to read it this time. And then right now it's just playing some basic piano. It does sound like Zelda. Like, that's the thing. This really does seem like it's taking from Breath of the Wild, but not like it's ripping it off, but more of it's taking the qualities of Breath of the Wild that makes it just a basic functioning game. Excuse me. And really just, oh, that was neat. And just it doubles down on all that. Let's see if, so that's cool. Like, if you have momentum and you go on the water, you glide. Anyway, this game, I guess, is supposed to be coming out sometime this year. I don't know, but this is a game I'm going to be playing. Now, that's interesting. We just saw some of the menus for a second there. I will say, that part seems strangely out of place. Like, the menus and the interacting in the menus don't seem to be at the same quality as the rest of the game, which is something I've seen before, and I think I mentioned it with Stormgate, the RTS, where its individual components are well done, but as a whole, it seems like, yeah, it's just not finished. I mean, again, Europa is a demo, so yeah, I can't wait to play this game. Let me or play the full game. Yeah, it's just saying coming soon. So not even 2024, just coming soon. And that's the thing with playing these games that aren't out yet. Like, I play and it's like, oh, I want more, and then I can't. And it's like, well, I'm not gonna play it until it comes out. It's the same thing with the Stormgate. Right? Is that what that's called? Why am I forgetting the name of that game? Yeah, Stormgate. It's obvious that it's early access, and I don't have access to everything. So it's like, should I even be playing it? Okay, so let me share my screen. We'll start getting into some of the topics today. And then we'll jump into some news. Okay, so here we are, Exophase, and not much. What did I do yesterday? Well, I'll tell you. But the first thing was, it wasn't too much gaming. I actually just played, the King of Fighters 14. Why? Well, it was on sale, and I had just beaten the fighting game. Felt like beating another one. And I guess mainly because it was on sale really cheap. I was just trying it because I really didn't dedicate time yesterday to playing games, except for the demo of Europa and the demo of another game that I will get to actually right after this. It just doesn't show up here. Yeah, so the demos don't always show up here. It's interesting what does and what doesn't show up on Exophase. Okay, so yeah, that's really it for what I did gaming wise yesterday. There's something else I did, and I'll get to that. But okay, let me get to this Bakeru. So I mentioned this, I think, yesterday, the day before, I forget when. And so there's a demo for this on Switch. This is really fun. I don't know how to explain it, or maybe I do. I think I was talking about how the other day when we were watching videos, or I think we were watching a video, I was like, oh, it looks like, kind of an old school 3D platformer. And it plays really well like that. And it's made by the devs who did like Yoshi's Woolly World, Kirby's Epic Yarn. So these are devs that have worked with Nintendo for some time on platformers. So they do have that pedigree of making a good, fun platformer. What's cool about this is it's a action platformer. And like a Souls game, what's interesting is the attack buttons are bound to LB and RB. So you're actually attacking with the shoulder buttons. And at the same time, you're running around doing platforming stuff. And it's funny. There's a lot of coins that show up. It's interesting. It really feels like playing a Mario 3D platformer at the end of the day. And also there's a block button. I think it's the right trigger and that helps with like if something's being shot at you, you can like hit it back at the last minute. So it's like actiony, but also physics based, which kind of goes into the platforming aspects that I was speaking on. Yeah, definitely an awesome action platformer. September 3rd, 2024. Wow, I didn't realize it was that soon because Gundam Breaker 4, Star Wars Outlaws, the last week of August, and then the first week of September, you have this. And this is, oh, that's cool. It's like Mario Kart built in. Like this game is something that I would get and I would play. And, oh man, and then the Astrobot too is a little bit after that. Um, yeah, it's crazy because this is a game that, yeah, after playing the demo, I'm very excited about it. But that's the thing. It's like, would I get it at on that's the thing. I don't get games on Switch unless they are exclusive to the Switch. I like the portable handheldness of it, but I can do that with the ROG Ally with a PC game. And then also Europa did not run nearly as good on the Switch as it did on PC. That might be obvious. So it's one of those things. Like I like the Switch as a system, but like I would rather play games somewhere else. Even though again, the OLED has a great screen, the Joy-Cons, third-party Joy-Cons can be excellent, but okay. Um okay, so I talked about Europa, talked about Bakeru, which telling you I would be playing this right now if it was out. That's how cool this is. Um uh Alien Romulus. I'm going to talk about that real quick and I won't spoil it. But I saw it yesterday with my young. Oh, hold on, wrong one. And I will say that it was a good time. It was an enjoyable film. I would say I'm a really big Alien fan, like Alien and Predator. When Prometheus came out, I was like, "What's going on here?" And I was super intrigued by that movie for so many reasons. Even though I felt like this doesn't help the alien mythology, and I think people mostly agreed with that. Then we got things like Alien Covenant, that was kind of like an in between of the Prometheus stuff and the alien xenomorph stuff. So, what's interesting about this movie is it 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 seems to take from elements from all of the different alien films, and it it does seem to the things I look for in these types of movies are like expanding on the lore and the world building. Are we getting more answers or explanations to the xenomorph? And I would say I don't think we did. It seemed to though do enough purposely to kind of tie in Prometheus with aliens, because when Prometheus came out again, it's kind of like, okay, what is this that's going on? And but they seem to tie it in, and but also I would say at the same time, I felt like this was a very safe movie. Being from Fede Alvarez, who did Evil Dead, I was actually expecting there to be more horror in this. I don't think there was. I think instead it was. I don't know. This movie was very interesting because I don't think it did the horror very strong. I feel like while it did the alien stuff, the xenomorphs, I felt like it, there wasn't enough of it, or it was too long, and there wasn't a lot of action. But what it did was is the production value, like the camera, the editing, the acting, all of that was done really well. And and I don't want to spoil it, but there is this pivotal relationship between a character and an android, and that was done very well. I almost feel like that was kind of a plot idea that maybe Ridley Scott had, or that the movie was then trying to be built around, because that was the strong suit of the film, not really the alien or the alien combat and stuff like that. But that's the thing. It reminded me of like Prey, where Prey was just a super safe predator movie. It was just like, well, here's just another one of those. And I think for the most part, that's what Alien Romulus was, just with the, and I say little bit, but there's a lot of connective tissue to the other Alien films. And It was inoffensive. The movie was very inoffensive for an Alien film. Yeah, you know what? There are spoiler stuff that could be talked about. I'm not gonna do that here, but for other people that are fans of the Alien films, I'm curious what they think of some of the story elements that popped up. I'm gonna have to scour Reddit. I remember I did that when Prometheus came out. Um, anyway, yeah, let's move on to some other stuff. What else did I have? Okay, let's look at this. I just came across this and I haven't really had time to dive into it much. So, this is a Mario fan game called Super Mario and the Rainbow Star, and it actually looks really cool. So I figured we'd check it out a little more here.
Let's go.
I mean, that's like one thing that'd be interesting to find out is this built entirely in a custom engine? Is someone using the sprites or assets that are already available? Because a lot of it looks custom, but also looks very good. And I like kind of this in-between style for Mario that's kind of between Game Boy NES or like modern pixel stuff. Okay, I want to fast forward to some action. So that's pretty cool because it's like the 3D world, but 2D, you know, with the cat and its powers. So that's pretty cool. It has the Yoshi's Island, that style stuff going on with the projectiles. In this case, it's a star that Mario can throw, which is a good idea. So look at how cool this is. This is my first time watching this much into it, but I love how it's incorporating different gameplay elements from different Marios while looking really good. I like the zoomed out camera look to kind of let you see what you're getting yourself involved with. And this makes sense for Mario, how we're seeing it almost like mazy platformy like, where it's like slow and you're moving around trying to figure things out, which contrasts to a Sonic game. A proper Sonic game is really gonna be speed most of the time. Maybe sometimes there would be areas where you might slow down and go a different path, but it's got to be properly built in. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm just still disappointed in Sonic Superstars. It should have been such a better game, especially Mario Wonder right there. Anyway, this looks awesome. I'm definitely gonna try to play it later today or this weekend. So yeah, that's Super Mario and the Rainbow Stars. Let's see actually if it's okay. A demo of the old version of the game has been available since the beginning of last year, with a new demo of the latest version expected to drop at some point today. The demo will include the prologue and the entire first chapter and is roughly 2 to 3 hours long in total. Wow. Just considering like they're not going to have the whole thing out yet, and it just makes me think of how much work must be being put in this, especially because it's like a Nintendo IP and there's that risk there. But no, as long as they're not selling it, right? They should be fine. Well, I mean, yeah, if they had a demo since last year, and Nintendo's gone after other things, I think they're fine. Anyway, that looks great. Can't wait to put some time into it. Okay. Let's see. Anything else before we jump into topics that I have grabbed? Oh, yeah, here's something here. I didn't really read all of this. Let me open this. Call of Duty H2 multiplayer mod gets shut down. Player count falls off a cliff amid mass refunds. So refunds, is it because a mod gets shut down? Hype had been building for a new project known as H2 Multiplayer, but the fan-made game mod has been hit by a massive blow. As a result of a cease and desist order from Activision, operations have been forcibly shut down. The modification was designed to bring classic Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer content to the newer Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered engine via the 2017 title. Not many people are too surprised by Activision's actions, given the content is rightfully their IP, but it has dashed a few dreams of reliving that now classic Modern Warfare 2 feel on a newer and more secure version of the engine. Following the announcement for the mod's development team, we've noticed many people rushing to refund Modern Warfare Remastered, as well as a sudden drop in the player count. That's okay. So that's pretty crazy. I wonder how significant the refunds and the drop is to kind of maybe change their policy on the types of mods that are available. Because on one hand, it seems odd to shut down a mod for just making maps. But I guess on the other hand, this is still available for purchase. So making a mod on a newer game, I don't know. I'm not fully 100% really have it up. I guess a thought on who's in the right, who's in the wrong, but I don't know. Interesting. But they just received the cease and desist, not anything else. It's not like it went to court or anything. And that's the thing. Is the mod team is not going to have the money to defend themselves, even if they were to win. Yeah, that's a tough one. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I don't think there's anything else that I had planned. So let's just jump into the latest headlines. See if there's anything crazy. Iron Galaxy's co-CEO announces exit after 8 years. Although, yeah, Adam Boyes, that's interesting. So he was with PlayStation, and I thought it was surprising that he went from PlayStation to Iron Galaxy, maybe so he could be a little more free with the choices about getting like pretty much games into production. Interesting. I wonder what he's going to be doing next. You know, if you don't recall, he was famous for having that image with Yoshida, right? Where it was how you do the game sharing on a PlayStation. And it wasn't it them where he just like hands it over to him, and that's how you share. Yeah, it was a knock against Xbox One's policy with the game sharing because they weren't going to have the same sort of thing. Even though looking back, I think, and I'd have to look at the details. I think someone did an article writing on how Microsoft's idea for game sharing would have been better for consumers by this point in time, just due to everything being more digital in the first place. Yeah, because if you think about it, that meme, which was funny, didn't age well because they're handing each other a physical disc, whereas people don't really do that anymore. Interesting. In a new blog post, Adam Boyes announced that they are stepping down as co-CEO of developer Iron Galaxy, with Chelsea Blasco continuing as the sole CEO. He's stepping down, but out. Boyes thanked Iron Galaxy and his team and explained that they will remain on as a member of the team until the end. Oh, until the end of the year. So, okay. My new inspirations are to find ways to help people who make games solve their biggest problems. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I can see that. Like, there's even this thing that I feel where it's like, man, I see these games that I love, and it's like, but there could be tweaks made to make it better. It's like, I wish I could help it somehow to be like, yeah, let's make this transition from menus to the game a little better, things like that, or just a visibility of UI elements, or it could just be animation. I mean, there's so many little things that as a player, it could be like, okay, this is taking me out of the experience. Whereas as a developer, sometimes you don't see those things because you're almost, you kind of have this like built-in bias, I guess, of as you're developing, you're like, well, it does it like this, but this is just how it is. Whereas maybe that is something that you can use consulting for. So yeah, we'll see that a lot with these older, I guess, yeah, people that worked in like game publishing with the bigger companies start to do more consulting stuff. But yeah, okay, that's cool. All right, let's go back to some other news. Fortnite returns for iOS devices in the EU and Android devices globally. So yeah, that's that whole thing with Epic and, well, just iOS, I guess, in general. With yeah, because even like with Patreon, there is something for people that have Patreons to send a message to their users about like if they are to like support Patreon through the app on iOS, it's going to be more expensive than if they were just to do it in a browser or on another device, because Apple's trying to take more money or trying to make money off of that stuff. So something like that. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay, the new Fortnite Chapter 5, Season 4 with Doom and a Wolverine banana. Sometimes it gets a little too goofy, and then I got to move on. So Epic Games launches mobile store, bringing Fortnite and Fall Guys to iOS and Android. So that's cool. If you've been missing out, it's funny because I remember, the Fortnite app being a thing, and then you launch the other games from there, and I don't know what happened to that, but I guess it's back. Okay. How to get free tokens in Asphalt 8. What? Isn't that like such an old game? But I'm sure they got paid for this article, so good for them. Let's see. Delta Force. I've heard good things about this Delta Force game, but I haven't played it yet. Exoborn gameplay trailer reveals an intense, energetic extraction experience. Yeah, I saw this. I heard about this game, Exoborn, but it seems so generic. Even the name sounds like games that have already existed. And recently. Let's see. Well, I think that's about it. There's nothing else crazy going on to talk about, but I thought it was pretty cool to show off that Europa demo because it looks great. Cozy, fun time. I love the controls, how it's just that single button to jump, charge your jump, glide. It's so easy. They make it like a fun little experience. And then from that, the other thing I thought was cool was when we looked at that Mario game, the Super Mario and the Rainbow Stars. Be sure to check that out. Yeah, I'm excited for that Bakeru game. As for this weekend, I don't know what I'm going to be playing yet. I don't know yet. It's because I'm in this phase where I'm really waiting for Gundam Breaker and Star Wars Outlaws to be my mains that I'm going to go in between. Right now, I'm just kind of playing whatever, Metal Slug Awakening, obviously, doing the dailies. Yeah, and that's interesting because even yesterday with Metal Slug Awakening, it didn't show up that I had been playing it, right? Because I actually just logged in on my phone because it's crossplay. I love that, to do the dailies where I'm not even really playing. I'm just pressing the things to get the things. So anyway, I'm going to head out, but that was fun. Have a good weekend. Hey, it's Friday. Should be plenty of time to play some cool games. Let me know what you guys are playing when we come back on Monday. But until then, have a good one. See y'all.